Anna never thought her hardest times would bring her face to face with a mysterious being in heaven. But after dying 3 times, Anna learned deep truths about love, pain, and how we're all connected in ways she never imagined. Now she shares her amazing story, calling on everyone to see the strength of love even in tough times.
My name is Anna, and before you dismiss what I'm about to say, I need you to hear me. I died 3 times, and during one of those times, I met a mysterious being, an alien, not in a spaceship, not in a dream, in heaven. And what she showed me changed everything I thought I knew about God, love, and why we suffer. But to understand how I got there, you need to know where I came from. My earliest memories are soaked in fear. My father's anger filled every corner of our home. Sometimes he came through the door like a hurricane, drunk and ready to strike. Other times, he was calm. That made it worse. He'd hit me like it was nothing, like I was nothing. Dragged me by my hair across the kitchen floor over a spilled glass of milk. My sister, Isabel, fought back. She once stared him down with a gun pointed at her head and whispered, "Do it." I admired her, but when she left for college, I was alone with him. My mother, a ghost, always staring at something I couldn't see. When I came to her bleeding once, she just sighed and got up to do the dishes. I stopped asking for help after that. Books became my escape. Church, too. I loved the idea of a God who saw everything and still chose to love. But sometimes I wondered, if he saw everything, why didn't he stop it? I was 9 when I died for the first time. 1 second, I was in pain. The next, I was floating above our backyard, completely free. Then I saw it. A light. Not the sun, something bigger, softer, more real. It was God. Not a man, not a voice, just presence, pure love. Then he spoke, not with words, but through knowing. You are here because you have something to do. I didn't ask what. I just said, yes. Then, you must be baptized. I crashed back into my body, like falling from the sky. But I knew what I had to do. I told my father, God told me I need to be baptized. He went pale. Don't tell your mother. I'll talk to the preacher. A week later, I stood in the baptismal pool, the youngest ever baptized in that church. My father was in the crowd, silent, watching. When I came up, I hoped maybe God would take me back, but I was still here. I don't remember how old I was the second time. I was sick, burning up with fever, and then I wasn't just in my body anymore. I was watching myself on the couch, pale, motionless. I tried to tell my mom, but she didn't even blink. It was like I didn't exist. I saw equations floating in the air, complex math I understood instantly, even though I'd always struggled in school. Then I felt a pull, and slammed back into my body. Later, I chalked it up to a fever dream. But after everything else, I know what it was now. I had left my body. I was 16 the third time. My father had just beaten me again. Bruises fresh, ribs aching. And then he looked at me and said calmly, I hate you. I've thought about killing you, but I don't want to get caught. That night, I whispered one prayer. God, please let me die. And then came the pain. Sharp, at the base of my skull, worse than anything I'd ever felt. Then, nothing, no sound, no body, just blackness. But I was still thinking, still me. That's when the fear set in. Was this it? Was I stuck here? Then it came. A presence, massive, loving, warm. God, not a voice, not a figure, just everything. And suddenly I knew things. Life, love, purpose. I had never been unloved, not for 1 second. I laughed. Then it all started to fade. I wasn't in darkness anymore. I was in a cavern of light, pulsing, alive. I hid against a wall, and then she appeared, tall, luminous, her body shifting like the northern lights. Enormous black eyes, not human, an alien. She saw me, and she was afraid of me. "Are you going to stop hiding?" she asked, telepathically. I stepped forward. "You're beautiful," I said. She didn't answer. Behind her was a screen in the cave wall, glowing, showing my life, memories I had forgotten, moments I had dismissed. I asked her, "Why do you keep showing me this? I want to know about you." She said nothing, just turned to the screen again. Then I saw it, a moment from school. I was on stage during the musical, the lead, no understudy. And I realized if I died, the show would have been canceled. People would have cared. I wasn't invisible. I mattered. And just like that, the cavern disappeared. It felt like something wrapped around my chest and yanked me backward through space. Then, impact. I slammed back into my body, vomiting, shaking, gasping for air, alive and different. When I woke up the next morning, nothing had changed. On the outside. But inside, I didn't feel anger anymore. I saw my father differently, still cruel, still damaged, but also deeply unloved. And I remembered the love I'd felt, that warmth, that light. I thought, maybe I'm supposed to give that love, even to him. I couldn't say, "I love you," but I could start somewhere. He loved gardening. That was the one good thing about him. So every time he yelled, I whispered in my head, "You are a great gardener. You are a great gardener." And I imagined light pouring out of me into him. It didn't change him right away, but one night he raised his hand and stopped, confused, like something inside him cracked. Weeks passed. Then one day, he looked at me and said, "I feel like you're the only person in the world who loves me." I never told him that, but he felt it. I kept all of this to myself for years. When I told Isabel, she said it was trauma, Stockholm Syndrome. My science friends? Just your brain shutting down, hallucinations. But it wasn't. It was more real than anything here. The biggest secret wasn't the alien, or even the light. It was this: love is the most powerful force in the universe. The people who hurt the most often need love the most. And suffering, it's the result of love gone missing. You want to know the part that still keeps me up at night? What if the alien wasn't from space? What if she was from somewhere spiritual? A messenger, not to tell me about other worlds, but to help me see mine. Because the truth is, even in our darkest moments, we are never truly alone. If there's one thing my story taught me, it's that love isn't just an emotion, it's power. I used to think I was worthless because of how my father treated me. But when I died, when I floated in that light and stood face to face with something not even human, I saw the truth. I had always been loved. Even in my darkest moments, I was never alone. And if I could feel that kind of love, I realized I could also give it, even to someone who had hurt me. It didn't happen overnight. I couldn't say, "I love you." But I could find one small good thing in him, his garden, and focus on that. And somehow that changed him. It changed me. People say near-death experiences are just brain tricks. Maybe they are. But what I saw and felt was more real than anything in this world. It showed me that the people who seem the hardest to love are often the ones who need it the most. You don't have to wait for a miracle or a near-death moment to live differently. Love like it matters, because it does.